Android users, you get a ton of devices on a regular basis that come out on the market and you get to celebrate every time they do. But today, it's Apple's turn. The iPhone 5S is in the office, and as you'd expect, we're taking a look at Apple's newest flagship device. I'm Aaron Baker from PhoneDog.com, and the question with the iPhone 5S is, in 2013, can a fingerprint scanner, a metal body, and an awesome camera win over not only iPhone fans, but converts from other platforms? Let's find out in the unboxing. In 2013, the Apple iPhone 5S and 5C, for that matter, have a really interesting battle against Android. They've got to compete more than they ever have before, and sure, the iPhone is still a popular brand through and through. You still see people lining up for this device, and actually when I went to pick up PhoneDog's device, I still saw the lines, but in 2013, there's a ton of options to choose from. Unlike, let's say, 2010 or 2011, where this was the undisputed industry device, there's competition now, and I think that's biting into Apple's margins bit by bit. You don't see it on a regular basis, but when you look over the trends of, let's say, a year or 6 months, particularly with the Galaxy line and with the HTC One line and with the LG G2, there are a lot of awesome Android phones out there. It's no longer a battle between, specifications versus fluidity. The latest Android devices are just as fluid as the iPhone 5S, and I think that's presenting a really interesting challenge for Apple as they work to innovate and change and make a different device. This is the iPhone 5S, and you can see from a design perspective, it's almost exactly the same as the Apple iPhone 5. It looks very similar. This is the gray model. It's available, at least depending on what store you go to, available in 3 different colors. You've got gold, white, and gray as well. They're no longer calling this black, it's gray, and you can see over on the sides, got the gray on the back, still metal. Flash has been relocated to a slightly different position, but it is an S model. So what that means, very similar in a lot of ways to the Apple iPhone 5, with the exception of some improvements, which we'll talk about in the unboxing video. But what I really want to get at in this and later on in the review, is this worth buying in 2013 when there are 10 or 15 Android devices that do very similar things and in a lot of cases have amazing features? HTC Zoe, HTC Blink Feed, Galaxy S4's camera, S-Beam, you've got LG G2's knock feature, you've got the power buttons on the back. They're all really powerful devices that are available on multiple carriers, so it's something worth looking at in the coming days as we work into the review. But the 5S is here. Specs-wise, you're looking at an Apple A7 CPU that clocks in at 1.7 gigahertz. It's a dual-core CPU. Apple's pretty coy about their CPU speeds, but what it's rumored to be is about a dual-core 1.7 gigahertz CPU. It also has the M7 coprocessor in it, which works hand-in-hand with the A7 CPU. This has LTE. This is the AT&T model, 32 gigabytes at that. And you can see on the back your camera. Battery-wise in this device, non-removable 1,560 milliamp hour battery. We'll take a look at battery numbers in the full review. 8 megapixel camera. On the back, 1080p HD recording. You've got a 1.2 megapixel front-facing camera that shoots video at 720p for FaceTime and for more things like that. And then over here again, LTE, 1 gigabyte of RAM, 16, 32, or 64 gigabytes of storage, depending on which one you choose to go with. But the real differentiator here, 1, iOS 7, and 2, the home button now doubles up as a fingerprint scanner for security purposes, where you can enter it and not have to worry about putting in your password for things like the App Store and more. So you can see the design. It's hard to put this up with the camera and let you see it, but the design has changed slightly from the iPhone 5. You can see here there's no little rectangular, square rather, on the home button. It still is recessed into the device, but it's not as noticeable, or at least the sides are a little bit different here on the device, intended for clearly a fingerprint. Otherwise, very similar here. We'll take a look at what comes out of the box, and we'll get back to the device. But before I do that, special thanks to our partners at Best Buy Mobile for giving us devices like the 5S for use in our One Paw Bandit giveaway game. When you go into Best Buy Mobile to get this phone, you'll walk out working. They'll get everything set up. They'll help you with your fingerprint ID setup. They'll help you with camera setup, email setup, web setup, and more, thanks to Best Buy Mobile, where you'll walk out working. So box-wise, very similar here. 5S on the sides, 5S in the front, running iOS 7, as you can see, and then on the back, includes 5S earpods with remote, lightning to USB cable, USB power adapter. So we'll pull that out and take a look. I think the challenge here, and I'll talk as I'm opening the box so you can see what comes in the unit. I think the challenge here is really hit more than ever. It's a battle between even some Windows Phone 8 devices and Android devices. This is no longer the undisputed industry champion. This is no longer the best smartphone on the market. I have to kind of laugh when I read the reviews, or the early reviews saying it's a great smartphone, don't get me wrong. but it's not the undisputed industry leader anymore. There are plenty of Android devices out there that do exactly what the iPhone 5S does, and in some cases better. This still has a great iTunes ecosystem, and it's still very fast. It's still very zippy all around. I'm not knocking it for speed, but what I am saying is Android's caught up and in a lot of cases surpassed it. So like anything else in the mobile space, you've got to ask yourself what's most important to you. Is it camera? Great contender here. Is it ecosystem with iTunes? Great contender here. If you're looking for more ecosystem integration with, let's say, Gmail or Google services, this may not be your device. And unlike years past where it was like, oh, I can kind of look past the integration because this device is so darn fluid, well, the Android devices are darn fluid too, and there's no longer a differentiator between the two. So why not get the Android phone if you need the Gmail integration or the Google integration? That's kind of the point I'm making here, but we'll dive back into more of that in the full review. USB cable, AC adapter module, ear pods here as well. No real difference in the box. Then, of course, made by Apple in California. You'll see here. And then, of course, let's see, iPhone 5S, got a lot smaller. And then welcome to iPhone, less paper. That's good. Good for the environment. And we'll put that back in the box, and we'll take a look at the device itself. So you can see running iOS 7 out of the box, AT&T LTE here. Here's what it looks like. I did configure one of my email applications, one of my email inboxes, so you can see I have in this case 23 unread messages at the moment. That is expected to go up as the day goes on because I get 300 to 400 emails a day. But on the device here, little has changed. You've got your lightning port down here at the bottom, speakers, you've got 3.5mm headphone jack. Still a beautifully constructed device here. Really fits well in the hand, but the downside for some people, it's only got a 4-inch display. They did not change the display size. It's still a Retina display, 640 by 1136 pixels, so it's not an HD display. Keep that in mind. And it's got 326 PPI over here. So 326 PPI, still a very clear display, but you compare that again to some of the other ones on the market rocking 720 or 1080p, and that may be something that helps you or in your decision making or hurts you depending on what you want out of a device. Power button up top, you've got your camera on the back here, Apple logo, no real changes. iOS 7 is a huge change for Apple here, and you can see a new notifications area with today, all, and missed, just kind of going over the quick stuff. And then you've got a notifications area that pops up, or a quick access, if you will, area that pops up from the bottom of the device just by swiping up, and you've got shortcuts to airplane mode, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, do not disturb, rotation lock, your brightness on the screen, your music, AirDrop as well, and then I've got a shortcut to a flashlight. I'm not going to turn it directly at the camera because I don't want to blind you on iPhone day. And then this as well, which honestly I don't know what the timer, okay, that makes sense. And then I'll go back through here and see calculator, camera, and more, and then again access to my AirDrop. So we'll take a look at messaging, we'll take a look at the overall font changes and more, but we'll take a look quickly at settings here. You can see for the most part, very similar, just a flatter design with different colors. And of course icons as well. So notification center is still here, control center, do not disturb. But what you probably really want me to do is go in and access my fingerprint ID. So you know what, I'll go down here to go to privacy, and we'll take a look at what I can do. Actually, it may be somewhere else. Let's see what, go down through here, Compass, Safari, iTunes, music, video. Let's see where it is on this device. Reminders, notes, and keep in mind this is my first time accessing the 5S as well, so a little bit in the dark as to where the actual setting is. Did I miss it in privacy? Let's see. Advertising, notifications, do not disturb. Let's try general, and let's see what we've got here. There we go, passcode and fingerprints. So we'll do some fingerprints here. I'll turn passcode on, and we'll do, password's going to be 1234. It's really a challenging one that nobody's going to guess. And then we'll go down here and go to fingerprints. And I'm going to add a fingerprint so you can see what it looks like. Scan the finger or thumb you normally use on the home button, like that. Lift and rest it. I'm just going to keep doing it. Very easy. And 4, 5, 6, 7, and I'm going to adjust my grip. Keep going to capture the edges of your print, and let's try doing it like this. And it's going to continue to allow me to do that. And we'll go in here and take care of that. Looks to be successful. Excellent. I can now use it to unlock my phone. So I'm going to turn it off and back on because that'll give you an idea as to what the actual unlock screen looks like. I can quickly pull down my notifications bar. I can quickly pull up for my quick access, but when I go to do this, either enter the passcode or passcode required after restarting. Let's try doing it again. And let's see what we got here. May have to restart the device. We'll take a look. Passcode required. And there we go. Easy, quick and easy. Not bad at all, and easy to use the fingerprint scanner. So you got that option. Another huge feature here is in the iTunes Store, you've got iTunes Radio as well, just talking about some of the innovations to both iOS 7 and the iPhone 5S. So if you want additional colors, I should point out you can get the 5C as well. The specs are a little different, but it comes in 5 color configurations. So if you go to the AT&T store or wherever today, and they just have gray and you want gold or you want a different color, might be worth taking a look at. But you can see here music, I can go through to my new releases and more and quickly access that. And I can always download stuff using my fingerprint as well. So there's a lot of new technology, or I should say there's some new technology in the 5S. The fingerprint scanner is cool. The ability to use that in the iTunes store is fantastic. I think a lot of Apple fans and people that use iPhones are really going to enjoy that. Is it a differentiator? I find that to be kind of interesting. You know, Android devices have tried this for some time, and arguably they didn't have the traction back when they tried it with like the Atrix 4G, for example. But again, there's just not a whole lot differentiating this anymore between an Android device. So there's still plenty of people that want an iPhone, and I'd recommend it to plenty of people. But, you know, for example, you look back versus 3 years ago, this was an undisputed industry leader in speed, fluidity, and overall ecosystem. Android's caught up, and I'm not saying Android's the end-all to be-all, but what I am saying is you got worthy alternatives in today's world if you don't want the 5S or you don't want a 4-inch display or perhaps you don't like iOS 7. Plenty of options here between the different devices. Keep it locked on PhoneDog.com for more on the Apple iPhone 5S. We'll have full coverage. I'm on Twitter at PhoneDog_Aaron. PhoneDog. PhoneDog.com. I can't talk and type clearly at the same time. On Twitter at PhoneDog_Aaron. I'm on Facebook at Facebook.com/HiAaronBaker, and would love to know what you think of Apple's newest flagship iPhone. Is it better than Android, worse than Android, better than Windows Phone, better than BlackBerry, worse? I'd love to hear from you on Twitter or on Facebook. Have a great weekend. If you're buying an iPhone, good luck. And as always, I'll see you next time.